Hi everyone, and today we're going to be um, going over a little bit of how and what kind of thoughts go into design. So, uh, this is our world map, and this is the academy where the player starts. There's no events over here yet because I haven't gotten that far. But this is where the character comes out of the mountain pass. So this is the area you saw in the demo. Um, this is our desert area. But today we're kind of focusing on this area. And these two events right here are entrances to the mountain pass. And the mountain pass is right here. The mountain pass is a fairly linear level. After the player has saved Master Lin and has restored her mind, the player will come down here. Now, the player enters from the north and will linearly travel south through the level. Now, I might make some minor changes to this. I've been considering removing this treasure chest that's right there and putting in maybe a cave or something, but it'll mostly stay the same. The player will travel through, grabbing chests and visiting events. I've already coded the area for enemies. Until they reach here, where there's going to be a boss, and that's actually going to be this month's voting reward. And once they leave here, they will be on to our next area. This is a fairly basic area. For those wondering, the player has just finished going through Master Lin's Mind, which had a fair number of enemies that targeted magic defense for damage, and has just left the ruins of the prison, which also had a lot of enemies that targeted magic defense. Now, that meant that our players of the Bushi class, that's kind of our warrior class, they felt some serious pain because they don't have great magic defense, and normally they're kind of a tanky class, and so those players may be feeling a bit not happy with their class choice. So this area it deals with more physical enemies, which the Bushi is really good at. It's going to be a little bit painful for the Arcanist, but the Arcanist, who's basically our mage, had just had two areas where they targeted magic defense, which they have very good magic defense. So they've had a little bit of cakewalk, so it's time for some challenge for them. And kind of that's how the balance goes. Like, no one class is ever always really good at every area, and some classes will struggle harder, and that's going to be how we get some of our replay value. Now, after the player exits here, they will make it to the port city. Now, the port city is still under construction, but I want to give you kind of a preview. Now, you're looking at this going, oh my god, this looks terrible. Well, this is still under construction, and I've got a lot more work to do. As you can see, the mountain pass looks a lot better. The port city is going to have an interesting side quest. Well, not side quest, actually main quest. When the player reaches here, the goal of the player when they get to this area is going to be to secure a ship to get passage to Talim. And that is, that is the player's goal. And this looks a little better once we zoom in, but still, it is what it is. The player is going to attempt to gain passage to Talim. There's only going to be one ship. It will be docked just over here. And unfortunately, it can't leave because in the prison down here, we will have the captain of the ship has been put in jail for a murder that he claims he did not commit. And the player character will have to solve the murder. And this is kind of one of our puzzle segments. This is going to be a lot of gathering dialogue, talking to people, and then they're going to have to put the puzzle together for the sheriff in a logical way in order to clear his name. So this is one of our few non-combat solutions. Well, not one of our few. We have a number of non-combat solutions, but this is a non-combat solution. Now, of course, this is still under construction. There are no doors. I haven't put any of the door code or transition code anywhere. I haven't put any of the door events down, anything like that. But that makes this a little bit of a challenge because devising like basically a murder mystery is a little harder than it looks. The murder mystery, a lot of it takes place here in the pub. Now, I'm going to zoom in and maybe you'll be able to see what I've done here. So let me go to one-to-one view here. So I don't know if you can see it, and I mean this is as far as the program lets me zoom in. But if you can see, there are little flecks of blood down here on the ground next to this body. That is actually accomplished with a wine bottle that is hidden underneath the body. I just thought that was kind of a cute way to do it. In any case, basically the situation is when this is done, there's going to be some people. There's going to be like the sheriff is going to be in here investigating and whatnot. This dancer uh, has been killed, and the captain of the ship was found in here, drunk, uh, over the body, and thus they have jumped to the conclusion. But as the player gets a chance to check this area out more, they'll be able to explore the different rooms here and start gathering evidence, which will be events that they can click on. So this is going to be the dressing room where the dancers are. Uh, this is the men's bathroom, because for some reason I make sure that there are bathrooms in places where there would be bathrooms. And this is the woman's bathroom. Now this is very interesting because if you zoom in real close, I don't know if you can see that in this video, but there are little flecks of blood near this. And if you look at the men's bathroom, you'll see that it has a similar bucket, but its bucket has water in it, and this bucket is empty. That is intentional, and the player character is going to have a chance to notice that. And when they interact with this object when I put the event in. At which point, let me zoom back out. At which point they will go back here to the port city, and they can find out that the city uses kind of this weird toxic area, which is going to be animated and whatnot, as a dumping area. Now this is a caustic kind of liquid, and we'll be using this liquid in several areas of the game later on. And basically this is a damage tile, is to signify that basically it dissolves whatever's thrown in. And you'll be able to talk to people, and they're going to say things like, well, we saw old Ben running away from there last night. Now, old Ben is a homeless person who lives here over at this little kind of homeless camp, and you'll be able to talk to him and get more information. I'm not going to give away the entire plot, but basically you're talking to people and gathering evidence and gathering clues, and then eventually what happens is you will return to you'll gather all the suspects, and you'll have like a sit down with the sheriff and everyone and lay out the true culprit if you gather all the evidence and you get the captain out. At which point you will board his boat and go visit Callum, which is the next area in the main quest. That's actually, you'll go to Callum, which interestingly is our luchador themed area. Yes, we have a luchador themed area. But that is just kind of what goes into this. This is a lot of going to be putting down events, and it's going to be really complicated. Because both genders will have different dialogue, it means I have to kind of write the dialogue twice, and I have to make sure that both dialogue are written in such a way that the same information is given out, but because both protagonists are not just different genders, they've got different personalities. That means they talk in a different way, and they might get slightly different clues. But also, one thing I'm going to be working on tomorrow is tomorrow we'll be going to work on this area. As you can see, there's this little house over here. This is going to be one of the side quests for the Bushi, where he will be able to find one of the 7 great swordsmen and learn a new passive technique to add to his repertoire. This is similar to the quest that you can get in the in Alba, as well as the quest for Alba. You can get a quest for the Acolyte, and the quest for Balt you can get for the Arcanist. So, Arcanist side quest is here. Acolyte side quest is down here. is down here, and then you will have the Bushi side quest over there. Uh, I hope you enjoyed kind of this little overview of what I'm working on today, and I'll see you again in the next day or so. All right, guys. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.